How's it going, everyone? This is Mitchell Mander here, and welcome to another review of Pokemon 2019. Today I will be covering episode 6, which involves Go catching a lot of Pokemon, specifically bug Pokemon, but it's essentially development for him. But I thought this episode overall was decent at best. Not bad by any means, but not great either, or good either. Just decent. But yeah, this is pretty much Pokemon Go, the episode. Literally. And speaking of Pokemon Go, if you want to add me as a friend on Pokemon Go, here's my trainer code. There you go. Anyways, if you like this video, be sure to like and subscribe. Anyways, on to the review. So when I say this episode is literally Pokemon Go, the episode, I mean it. Because at the beginning of this episode, Go finds out that his phone essentially acts as a tracker, in which any Pokemon that he catches is automatically recorded in his phone. So that's when he decides to go out and catch more Pokemon. Additionally, this phone can actually track what Pokemon are in the area, much like in Pokemon Go, literally. And if you actually land a good throw, or a nice throw, the Pokedex, or the Rotom phone, excuse me, will say nice, or great, or even excellent if it's a really good throw. Literally. This happens occasionally throughout the episode. So besides the references to Pokemon Go throughout this episode serves as further development for Go, as he is still very inexperienced. As in the last episode, he couldn't actually catch Scorbunny when he threw his Pokeball. Scorbunny essentially had to catch himself. And that shows at the beginning of this episode when he tries to catch a Pidgey, and it backfires as he misses and gets attacked. Tries to catch Pidgeotto, same thing. But he actually finds success when he catches a Caterpie, which is a nice throw. And then from here on out, he actually does a lot better, and he improves, and his catches get even better over time. Though he does have some struggles here and there, like Scyther, Pinsir, Beedrill. In fact, almost gets stung by a bunch of Beedrill. But yeah, he gets better over time. So probably one of the more interesting moments in this episode, and definitely some interesting characterization for Go at this point in the series, was when he was down to just 2 more bug Pokemon to catch, in the Kanto Dex being Scyther and Venonat. He decides to do Venonat first, as he struggled with Scyther earlier. But Venonat are sleeping at this time, so he decides to look in a tree for the Venonat, and he finds one. It comes out and he tries to catch it. It fails, and that's when Ash is like, hey, that Pokemon needs to be weakened, so battle it and then try to catch it. So Scorbunny is eager to battle and ends up fighting the Venonat, but in the process ends up getting poisoned. But Go essentially ignores this and continues battling on, and eventually catches the Venonat, but Scorbunny collapses from being poisoned, and Ash is like, hey, your Pokemon's poisoned, we need to get to the Pokemon Center right away and get it medical treatment, in which they go ahead and go to the nearest Pokemon Center. And Go essentially realizes what he did, and that he essentially was ignoring his Pokemon's well-being, pretty much for his own selfish goal of catching all the Pokemon. Not to say that Go is like a selfish character, but he was so fixated on his goal of catching the Pokemon that he essentially ignored his Pokemon in the process. And as a result of that, he decides, do better in the future and be like, hey, I can't be this way anymore. I need to make sure that my Pokemon are alright, or consider their well-being. So he asks Scorbunny, hey, I'm sorry I did this, will you continue to help me? And Scorbunny agrees. So that's some interesting characterization for Go, and good development for him, to be honest with you. He's slowly becoming a better person, and becoming more open, and he's getting more experience at the same time. So this is all in all good development for Go. And he eventually catches a Scyther at the end of the episode, which ends up being an excellent throw. And him and Scorbunny work together to catch this Scyther. And he ends up catching all the Pokemon, or the bug Pokemon, in the Kanto Dex, which is pretty cool. We then cut to the next day, in which Kaharu was up and wondering where the boys are at, because they're usually up for breakfast. That's when her and her dad hear a noise upstairs, and they run up, and they find Go basically bonding with his bug Pokemon, and Ash and Pikachu are binded up in string shot, which was pretty funny to see. Kaharu notes that, hey, isn't the dorms a little cramped for all the Pokemon that Go has? And that's when Sakuraki's like, well, that's alright, because I have a Sakuraki Park. Essentially, this is a reference to Let's Go Pikachu, in which you have your Go Park, so it's pretty much the same thing. So, all the Pokemon that Go caught are now in the Sakuraki Park. And the episode ends with Go basically reaffirming his goal to catch Mew, in which he says he'll catch all the Pokemon to get to Mew, as Mew contains genes of every Pokemon. So he's basically going to catch every Pokemon. Gotta catch them all, I guess. So, like I said at the beginning of this episode review, I felt like this episode was decent at best. It's not a bad episode, but still not really that good of an episode at the same time, so like middle of the road again. The best part of this episode, again, was easily Go's development. He's slowly becoming a better person. He's becoming a better trainer, a better person. He's caring more for his Pokemon. He's gaining bonds with Pokemon. And he expanded his goal at the end. He doesn't want to just catch Mew. He wants to catch every Pokemon, then Mew. So he's getting good development. The rest of the episode, unfortunately, was not that great. The Pokemon Go aspect with Go catching all the Pokemon got kind of old after a little while. The Rotom phone talking all the time kind of got annoying after a while. Ash didn't really contribute a whole lot in this episode. Koharu contributed even less in this episode. And she's slowly becoming a waste of a character. I really hope the anime does something with her in the future. Because right now, I just don't care for her character at all. She's just there for like a minute or two of screen time and that's it. Like, how am I supposed to care for this character if they're not going to do anything with her? So anyways, guys, that's all I got for this review. Overall, a decent episode, worthy of maybe like a 5.5 or 6 out of 10. Just an okay episode, nothing too special. Just good development for Go, that's pretty much it. Everything else, not so much. Anywho, what'd you guys think of this episode? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below, and be sure to like and subscribe, and I will talk to you all later.